Your car's biggest threat isn't a broken part, a failing sensor, or even bad driving habits. It's something far more silent, something hiding in plain sight every time you pop the hood. It's the oil sitting inside your engine. And for millions of drivers, that oil is already destroying their car from the inside out. Every year, mechanics report that nearly half of engine failures come down to oil-related issues. And most of those disasters happen because drivers unknowingly pour the wrong stuff in. Expired oil, fake brands, outdated formulas, or the wrong viscosity. It doesn't matter. Each mistake is like a ticking time bomb under your hood. So before your car's check engine light turns into a $4,000 nightmare, listen closely, because today we're exposing the 10 most dangerous oils and oil mistakes that are quietly killing engines across America. And at the end, I'll show you exactly what to do if you've already poured the wrong oil before it's too late. Let's get started. It might sound crazy, but yes, oil expires. Just like milk sitting too long in the fridge, motor oil breaks down over time. Even sealed bottles can go bad after about 5 years. When oil sits too long, the additives inside it, detergents, anti-wear agents, friction modifiers, start to separate and oxidize. What you're left with isn't lubrication anymore. It's sludge in a bottle. I've seen engines destroyed by this. A customer once came in swearing he'd just done an oil change, but what we drained out looked like black tar. Turns out the oil was 6 years old. He'd grabbed it from the back of his garage, thinking oil is oil. Big mistake. Once oxidation sets in, the oil thickens, forms acids, and loses its ability to protect metal surfaces. Your engine ends up cooking itself from the inside, creating sticky varnish on moving parts and grinding metal on metal. And here's the worst part. Many discount stores don't rotate oil stock like they do food. I've personally seen bottles on shelves that were 7 years old, still full price, still on display. So that $10 discount jug might be quietly destroying your $8,000 engine. Rule number 1, always check the date code. If you can't find one, walk away. Saving a few bucks isn't worth an engine rebuild. But as bad as expired oil sounds, it's nothing compared to the next mistake. Using oil that was never designed for modern cars in the first place. There was a time when conventional oil ruled the world. Back in the 1970s, when engines were big, simple, and forgiving. But today's engines? They're high-tech machines, tight tolerances, turbochargers spinning at 200,000 RPM. Variable valve timing systems adjust in milliseconds, and they demand precision. When you pour old-school conventional oil, like SAE 30 or 20W50, into a modern car, you're suffocating it. That oil can't flow fast enough during cold starts, which means your bearings and pistons are scraping dry metal for the first few seconds of every morning start. That's the most critical time for wear. I've seen modern turbo engines lock up in under 60,000 miles because the owner thought thicker meant safer. It doesn't. It means slower flow, more heat, and more friction. And those outdated blends literally cook under high temps. The result? Burnt carbon deposits that choke your turbo lines and oil passages. Here's the truth. Manufacturers didn't switch to synthetics for fun. They did it because engines evolved. Ignore that, and you'll be writing a check for a new motorway sooner than you think. But at least outdated oils start life as real oil. The next ones? They're not even that. The counterfeit oil industry is exploding, and it's one of the biggest threats most car owners never see coming. Here's how it works. Shady companies collect used oil, clean it with chemicals, and rebottle it under fake labels. Sometimes they even reuse real bottles from name brands like Mobil, Castrol, or Shell, complete with counterfeit seals and holograms. Looks real, smells real, but inside, it's poison. These fake oils often lack detergents or anti-wear additives, and within weeks, they foam, overheat, and leave sludge everywhere. I've torn down engines solidified with black jelly because the oil was counterfeit. The fix? Buy only from trusted retailers, never from sketchy online stores or random marketplace sellers. Check for the official API certification symbol, the little donut logo on the back of the bottle. And here's a pro tip. If the cap feels flimsy or the seal looks cheap, walk away. If the price seems too good to be true, it is. At least counterfeit oil is made for cars. The next mistake? It's made for the racetrack. And that's exactly why it destroys daily drivers. If it's good enough for a race car, it must be great for my Mustang, right? Wrong. Racing oil is engineered for short bursts of insane RPM, not the long daily grind of stop-and-go driving. It's missing one of the most important ingredients for street use: detergents. Race teams change their oil after every event. They don't need long-term cleaning power, but your daily driver does. When you use racing oil on the street, dirt and sludge start to build up fast. And because racing oils are loaded with zinc and phosphorus, great for old-school flat tappet cams but deadly for catalytic converters, your emissions system will choke. I once had a customer who bragged about using track oil in his daily Mustang. At 40,000 miles, his cats were clogged, sensors fried, and the engine internals looked like they hadn't seen an oil change in years. Bottom line, racing oils are for race cars. If you're not running a track, don't pour it in. But even when people pick the right type of oil, many still destroy their engines by ignoring one critical detail on the label. This one's sneaky because the bottle looks perfect. Same weight, same brand, same logo. But here's the catch. Not all 5-30s are the same. Every car maker has its own oil spec. APISN, ILSAC, GF6, ACEAA3B4, VW50 2.00, Mercedes 229.5, BMW LL01. The list goes on. If your oil doesn't meet your car's spec, you're not protected. And the damage it does? It's invisible until it's too late. The detergents might be too weak, leading to sludge buildup. The friction modifiers might be wrong, causing excessive wear on timing chains and camshafts. And if the additive levels are off, it can poison your catalytic converter or void your warranty altogether. I've seen brand new cars lose turbochargers because the owner used the wrong spec and the manufacturer refused to pay for repairs. Always check your owner's manual. Match the spec exactly, and never assume one 5W30 is the same as another. But the next group of oils doesn't just have the wrong specs. They claim to fix every problem under the sun. And that's the biggest red flag of all. If it comes in a shiny bottle with big promises, restores power, stops leaks, triples engine life, run. Modern motor oils are already complex formulas. They contain balanced detergents, anti-wear agents, and friction modifiers, tested and certified to work together. The moment you dump in some miracle oil with mystery additives, you're breaking that balance. I once saw a customer use a Super Zinc Power Boost additive because he read online that it prevents wear. Within 20,000 miles, his catalytic converter was shot. Another used a stop leak oil that swelled his seals so much they cracked, turning a small drip into a full-blown leak. Too much zinc or molybdenum, too many friction modifiers, and your engine starts choking. Those bottles that promise instant horsepower are nothing more than snake oil. If your car burns oil or loses compression, no liquid can rebuild metal. Only proper maintenance and correct specs can. But speaking of wrong mixes, some people take matters into their own hands by blending oils like they're mixing cocktails. You'd be shocked at how many people do this. Half a quart of synthetic here, a quart of conventional there. Maybe toss in a thicker blend for extra protection. It sounds harmless, but oil chemistry doesn't work like that. Each brand uses unique additives, detergents, dispersants, and anti-foam agents that aren't always compatible. When mixed, they can cancel each other out. That means less protection, unpredictable viscosity, and poor heat resistance. Your car doesn't get a hybrid of both oils. It gets a confused mess. Now, if you're stranded on the road and your dipstick shows low, yes, adding whatever's available temporarily is better than running dry. But once you're home, you need a full oil change, because over time, mixed oils create sludge and deposits that no additive can undo. Remember, oil isn't a cocktail, it's a precision formula. Mess with that, and your engine pays the price. But if mixing oils seems bad, wait until you hear what happens when people pour truck oil into small sedans. Diesel engines are beasts. High compression, massive torque, lots of soot. Their oils are loaded with detergents and zinc to handle that abuse. But put that same oil in your gasoline car and you're asking for trouble. Diesel oil's additives coat your catalytic converter, foul your O2 sensors, and ruin your emissions system. Once the cat is clogged, your check engine light starts blinking, your fuel economy tanks, and your wallet gets crushed. Replacing one costs up to $2,000. I had a Civic owner who swore by 15W40 diesel oil. He said, "It's tougher oil." By 50,000 miles, his catalytic converter was done, his sensors failed, and the engine felt sluggish. He tried saving money and spent 5 times more fixing it. Unless your vehicle specifically calls for dual-rated oil, some Cummins or heavy-duty engines do. Never mix diesel oil with a gas engine. Still, at least diesel oil is detergent-rich. Some people go even older and pour oil that hasn't belonged in cars for nearly a century. You've seen those numbers on the bottle. 0W20, 5W30, 10W40. They're not just random codes. They're the exact thickness your engine was designed for. Get it wrong, and you'll pay for it. Literally. If your car calls for 0W20 but you pour in 10W40, that thick oil flows like syrup during cold starts. For the first few seconds, your engine runs nearly dry. That's when most wear happens: bearing scoring, cam pitting, ring scraping. On the flip side, using oil that's too thin drops pressure and film strength. Metal grinds on metal under load, and your engine slowly eats itself alive. Consumer Reports once found that even a single viscosity grade off can increase wear by 30%. So, no, thicker isn't better. Thinner isn't smarter. Right is right. Always follow the exact viscosity in your owner's manual, because wrong viscosity oil doesn't just shorten lifespan. It can destroy a motor in months. But what if you've already made that mistake? Don't panic. Here's exactly what to do. Most people think oil is just oil, but it's the single most important fluid your car depends on. Expired, fake, wrong spec, wrong viscosity. Every mistake costs money, performance, and reliability. Engines don't die instantly. They die quietly, one bad oil change at a time. The good news? You don't need fancy additives or miracle cures. Just the right oil, changed on schedule, and bought from a trusted source. A $40 oil change done right can prevent a $4,000 rebuild later. So before you grab that next jug from the shelf, double-check the date, the spec, and the viscosity. Protect your ride, protect your wallet. And if you found this video helpful, share it before someone ruins their car with the wrong oil. Because knowledge is the best engine protection money can't buy. Like, comment your own oil horror story, and subscribe. Because next, we're uncovering the 7 oil change mistakes even professionals make that could destroy your engine overnight.